Salute everybody. How we doing? I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving the way my fro is growing, the way that it feels. I'm looking at myself right now. Today I washed it, and I kind of let it air dry. You know what I mean? And I threw some conditioner up in there, nice shea butter conditioning, and I'm loving the way that it looks. However, nevertheless, let's get right into the meat of this video, to the content, to the juice, everything that I'm going to give you right now. I know it's been quite a while since I put out a video that was quite informative, so let's shoot for it. For those who don't know me, of course, the name is Leo Isaiah. I went ahead and for those who've been following me, when they look on my Instagram, they will see at the bottom of my quotes or whatever I post in that's literary. I put things in form of a quote, or I just go ahead and share. I share my expressions in written word. I do written word. I do open. Uh, I call it open word, like, or more like an open mic. I go verbal with it. I'm trying to give it the best way I know how. Y'all know how it is when I drop the poetry. I get very uh, metaphoric. I get lyrical. You know what I mean? I try to put it all out there. However, I won't lie, I am being continually frustrated with um, with the things that I see, and it always there's always a challenge in my everyday. There's a challenge every day. I'm battling with things that I have within myself, and you know, this here is one of the best ways for me to vent. I share what I feel and what I know, and I'm always looking for some commentary. I'm always looking for opinions. I'm looking to be critiqued, but I don't get it the way that I expect. So, I mean, what could I say? I shared before that I'm not doing this for clout reasons. However, I do need that interaction. I look for it. I mean, who don't? That's like, let's say if I publish a book, if I get a book out there, no one's buying the book or no one's, you know, getting back at me to say, hey, here's a review on the book or here's what I have to say about it to further incentivize me to keep going. And it's like anybody who's putting any kind of artistic work out there, or they're like an orator and they speaking to people, of course you're looking for feedback. I think in many things that we do, we're always looking for feedback. Don't get it twisted or misconstrued with some kind of validation. I'm not seeking validation. Moving forward, it's like this. What I'm going to be talking about right now is some things that I'm seeing and I'm noticing as to what we're dealing with, not just me. Because I keep it real with you. Whatever I'm dealing with, someone else out there is dealing with it, maybe to a higher degree. But as far as I'm concerned, we all dealing with something, and we vetting, we putting things out there in the form of music, poetry, books. Even if you work in your 9 to 5, you are who you are. We know about making yourself a brand. Okay, yes, that's wonderful. Many things you can structure around your character, your being. And we do this, some people do it just, you know, monetary reasons. Yeah. And I know that's true because I could feel like a lot of people and have seen people continue to sell out. What I mean by sell out, to the point where you don't own nothing that you're putting out, which is in the form of intellectual property, And it's like a lot of people is compromising who they are and what they do just for the sake of, okay, looking for some kind of monetary return. Not here. I would like it. I should monetize my videos. I was told by some people, but I'm saying to myself, as true as that is, I do feel like in order for me to monetize it and for it to be very effective, I gotta get some things going, like a nice proper introduction to my videos, where you start to see some graphics entailed in my videos and being, it could be more descriptive, it could be more appealing, it could be more palatable and enjoying to watch. Nevertheless, things are going to come together one way or another. Moving forward. Now, what I'm going to be talking about mainly is that there seems to be, to me, that a lot of what we're dealing with is really not okay. It is primarily going up against a source. And I think this is why the Bible talks about sorcery. I don't deal with no spookisms. I try to conceptualize things. And my concept of sorcery and sourcing is that which is unseen. I'll often say that there's a hidden hand playing in the affairs of what we got going on as people, as humans. You have a spiritual counterpart. In fact, there's a physical counterpart because the spiritual comes first. In order for something to be a counterpart, something has to be primary. That's how I see it. So to me, yes, spirit is far more paramount, even though there is an inseparable nature between spirit and physical. Spiritual is paramount because it's primary and is also infinite. It's totally infinite. You got people who can see certain things that others can't. That's because they're tapped in. However, as we see things continue to take hold in a lot of neighborhoods where my people live primarily, it seems to be a long way from proper development, in which case we are still being held by arrested development, which is kind of awkward because we got libraries, we got uh, these phones here that we can use tremendously, that's loaded with information that we can tag onto and pull up at any moment. For instance, when I'm going where I'm going throughout the day and I see a word that I don't know, I look it up. I got a notepad. Sometimes when I'm chilling, I write things down. Especially when I'm doing my poetry, I write things down. I go look for the word, and then I want to look for a synonym to the word or an antonym, and then I constructively put my words together. However, what we're dealing with, yeah, is to me is sorcery. And in regards of spirit, which now is going into displaying levels of knowledge and its applicability, the applicability of knowledge, whomever incarnates a particular spirit, they act upon it. And so this is this is where we have a lot of the there's like a there's like a fight to see who pleases the creator more and more and who can gain more power and use it. What is a form of power? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, understanding, and overstanding. And so now you get knowledge of science and mathematics, how to grow crop, how to cultivate. We're going to go into economics. We can get into economics. Now you want to know how to sell your product and services, how to distribute it, how to conserve it, how to manage manage it more so. Because in managing, you can cluster all of those things that all those words that I just gave you, you can cluster that from that one word, management. Hence the first three letters, man. And this is what I see, what we have going on between every ethnic group, every ethnic group, and with whoever's doing great with what they have seems to be pleasing the Creator. Also, that which is within them, which is of the Spirit, to whom the Spirit incarnates in. Boom, there you have it. Everything is foretelling. It becomes more self evident as we become more discerning of the world that we live in addition to who we are. That emanates from what? Heritage. And that of the ancient days. Let me not say regardless, but more like, it's like I don't want to use the word regardless. However, moving forward, I don't want to lose the train of thought here in the topic. So I feel you have those that know how to master the good and the bad. Some people say you can't have one without the other. So we're trying to become masters of balance. However, I see, if you ask me, there's a lot of imbalance out here, or out of balance. See how funny these words could be used? You have in balance, then you have out balance. So out of balance. This thing this is why we have so much complexities in this life, especially in adulthood. But I feel that if we keep things simple and we stick to the basics, like the ABCs that we learn as kids, and we stay in tune with uh, structure, to which you will become men and women, will become men and women of integrity, becoming fortified, you're bearing fruit. And you can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. So when we start to do the numbers, because numbers don't lie, as to the gains, the losses, everything is self evident. The preservation of what you got, conservation, dispensation, everything to me is self evident. I've been, I'm not heavy on the politics, but I believe it to be like this. As to the reason why we have disproportionalities affecting those of the lower, or I would have to say the red line communities, particularly where my people reside, the African diasporic family. There is indeed a wide gap, a huge gap between those that have and those that do not have, the haves and the have nots. However, to me, brothers and sisters, there's nothing wrong with having not. Because even in your having not, you still have. But what are we doing with that which we have? We concentrated in these hoods where you got all this love, right? And melanin more so, since we like to get big up on the melanin that we talk about, and we're kings and queens and this, that, and the third, such rich history. But now looking at where it doesn't look like we're producing a rich future from the richness that we came from, that we still have within us, which lies dormant. And I'm talking to myself here indeed. As I always say, I am not excluded from this picture. So, how are we using what we have? We can take a look at how every ethnic group is utilizing their resources. We can not take, but we can draw knowledge, concepts, or borrow from other cultures. There's only one race, which is the human race. In the beginning of time, God put people in a place with fruits, vegetables, herbs, animals, sea creatures. Everything was put there for a reason, for a purpose. We should not allow economics to salvage that which was given to us. In addition to not doing or indulging in such perversions or criminal activities to ascertain things that we feel we need, to gather it, X, Y, and Z. Obtain, we shouldn't. However, it's still being done out there. And I feel one of the reasons why it's still being done is because of the unknown. What can we cluster from that word unknown? Ignorance, arrogance, being underdeveloped, to which we have jealousy and envy and fear, which are some emotional factors that have us indulging in this and that. And for all that we've been through, my people, I'm talking to primarily here, for all that we've been through and all the losses that we have incurred, what do we have to show today to which we maintain the integrities of what was passed down to us, handed down, invested? Even if you don't have much, it seems like we're not properly investing as opposed to what's being divested. Whether it's a little or a lot. Things that are tangible, clothes, cars, jewelry, whatever it is, seems to be divested. Things that are not tangible, that of the human body, I would have to say. Because everything we got going on in us is what we're using. That's why we become depleted of vitamins and minerals that we have to replenish the body. And I know it's difficult for my brothers and sisters in the hood, because when you look in the hood, liquor stores all over the place. Now they made weed legal and CBD and all of this. Now you got those along with the liquor stores. Now you got all these smoke shops everywhere. But yet the churches is not booming how they ought to be booming. And when I say booming, I mean in the sense of where you have proper teaching and preaching of scriptures. I know a lot of people is upset with those who speak of the Bible and whatnot, because they like, in addition to myself, where we talk about, okay, we've been preaching Jesus' name for how long, but we still not as sanctified as we ought to be. The lands where we live, not consecrated. How many people get a new vehicle, or better yet, a new house, and know how to smoke out your house, to clear it out, cleanse it? And then one of the biggest things is maintenance. We can get a house, we can get a car. How are we going to maintain it? And how well are we going to maintain it? Everything begins with self. How do we maintain that of which we have within, brothers and sisters? So when we look at, what the Jewish people got, what the Indian people have, what the Asians have, or whatever, don't look at it at a standpoint where it's like, okay, man, we keep being used and we exploited and we know these things. We shouldn't keep, you know, letting that echo and reverberate throughout the lands in which we cohabitate, abode. If we could zone in and change our ways and do away, which really deals with self-development, get rid of the envy, get rid of the jealousy and the fear. Like as I said before, for those who've been following me and could recall some of the things that were said in my videos, I touched based on me growing up, not envying nobody, not being jealous. That's a wonderful quality. That's a quality. It's a beautiful quality to have. Because I know, yeah, to whom much is given, much is required. But I'm fine with that. Once I know I got my people, and hey, once you know you got your brothers and sisters behind you, like they got your back and they support you 100%, there's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that can stop us. But my thing is, what is that hidden hand, or what is it that's hindering our phenomenal growth? What is it? We may lay claim to a lot of things. We may call this out or call that out, or an excuse for this or excuse for that. Well, guess what? We're going to do that. Write it down. Chalk it up. Remember it here. Keep in remembrance of things so we can know how to abstain from what is really not feeding us. As an individual, but more so of the collective. My beautiful carbonated water. I mean, the carbonated waters, because that's really not mine, right? And that's another thing too. We have to get more thorough with the words that we use. You know what I mean? Some people be like, "Oh my God, you getting so literal and da 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 da." We need to, and we ought to be more thorough and factual. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna say this too. As it just hit me, I can recall back in the days. I don't think it's as existential today as it was in the past, where you had that mindset of people who would look on to those who can speak properly, and they would say, "Oh, they talking like white people," or he or she talking like white people. They think they all that. They think they smart. That needs to be deaded. We got to get rid of that, man. Get rid of that attitude, man. If you can joke with it and know how to put it in a way where it's like you're only kidding, And then after that, you bounce back with, yeah, like, boom, boom, boom. And then you feed into that person with something positive. Wonderful. But back then, we always had it. And I think it's still as existential, I think. But people they may not speak on it. Because that goes into the element of jealousy and envy too. Because if I'm speaking proper, what makes you think I don't want that for you? Because we should all have it. But don't put a brother down or a sister down because, or you talking about them when we supposed to be building together. You follow? If anything, that person supposed to be applauded, supported. So they can continue to thrive and be incentivized as they go out there and do that. And this is why relationships are so important. This is why I do not understand how we continue to lose. And I still can't get nobody to answer these questions for me. Like, yo, relationships is so important, right? Because you could draw so much beautiful magic and love and healing from establishing a wonderful relationship. Particularly when you got, that union, man and woman. So we got all this duplicity out here. We got all this sex going on out here. Mind you, stick with me that I'm mainly talking to my people in the hood. Because as above, so below. So we got all this going on. We're using up all this energy, right? All this sexual energy. Even I said it before, I don't see where we went in on the well, I know wherever they are out here in the world of the righteous, I know that they're winning in measure. I know they are. But it's like we have to see it to believe it. Because by seeing it, you're gonna have more to aspire to and being inspired. But I don't see where we winning on the dark side either. And when I say the dark side and duplicity, I'm talking about that of the LGBT and those who indulge in those sexual perversions and wickedness. I don't see where we're winning over there too. Follow me with all that we have within the melanin that gives you great power to do this and to do even if we can relate it to you lasting long in bed, being a stud muffin. Where's that? Where's the return on that? Not to say we're trying to be opportunists now where we're using it just to say, yeah, we're going to use that and get this and get that. But follow me. Like, hear me out. You feel me? Do you understand? Where is it? We got to change this. And I know that a lot of people, they get weary, they get tired, they get lackadaisical, slothful, apathetic, because they feel like they really by themselves. Hence, me. And some of my mannerisms that can show like, yo, I get tired, man. Because like I said, I don't get no commentary. Ain't much people breaking bread with me on certain things. Many things I would have to say. I don't see it. Moving forward. Everybody got their challenges, man. Every ethnic group. Every tribe. Every culture. That's nature. Because we got to remember that a lot of things came into play before we even got here. Because this is all generational as well. What were my generations doing before I was conceived? What took place before my inception? And yours? What do we kick out to establish new covenants? To secure our heritage? Not only secure it, but our heritage, not mainly on the idea of securing a heritage, but enriching our heritage more so. This is why learning history is so important. Back as a child, I didn't really like that topic or subject in school, history. But as an adult now, oh yes, it's very imperative to know our history and others too, especially when we look into build relationships and establish new covenants and whatnot. You got to know the history because without knowing that, we really don't know where we're going effectively. Trust me. And there's no way we could just refute or negate history when everything from history is still here today. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. All things was made, whether it was made in a laboratory, but more so it was made from the creator. Everything that we eat and wear come from the earth. Even the dollar bills you spent come from the earth. Some things remanufactured, put into a lab or come out of a lab. s- uh, s- Synthetic products now, or this, that, and the third. But initially, it all came from the land, which is which is that of the olden days. So I've been looking around, and I say, wow, every culture has it to where they have their elders, particularly speaking here, where they wear particular garments. The woman dressed down, moderately, clean. They're not wearing tight clothes, accentuating their voluptuousness or whatnot to entice. Because some of what I see, a lot of what I see is gives into indecent exposure. I don't care what nobody say out there. That's exactly how I feel. Because that's how I know there's something here. It's like something, even when I was young, how perverted I was, which which made a lot of us get into that pornography. And especially for the fellas, every friend our sister got, we wanted to get with, and this and that. Don't lie. We all adults here. We all go through the same thing. It's just different degrees of it. It's human nature. But there's many things we have to address so we can know what to abstain from, refrain, do away with, etc., etc. I'm seeing the whole picture, and it's a lot to take in because it's like, wow, I felt like I've been lied to, and I felt like I wasn't properly educated because I could see how my African women of the olden days dressed in their garments, the Indian women dressed in their garments, and the men too. Jewish women, they long skirts, long sleeves. Even in the summertime, they dress moderately and conservatively. Asian women, they got that too. Every culture has it. You got your upper kingdom, you have your lower kingdom. And I think the hardest part of our lives is as we make it through in stages, is that real middle passage, which I think we can also tie into having a midlife crisis. That middle passage is serious because we all come from the ground level. Now, everybody is a product of the environment to want to become producers for the environment. What's learned from the bottom, making our way up, that's what's important. What's cultivated, what's fostered into the next generation, or in just to pluralize it in another way, generations. Period. Generations of the past, the present, and the future. It's all there. We all have it. So I really believe that at the end of the day, it's really about who's pleasing the creator. But I know one thing, and let me say this, that most definitely, 'cause I'm about to close here, is that another reason why I get upset with my people in particular, in addition to the politics that's being played and the things that's going on here in America, which I could just feel is in the air. It's not just my level of knowledge and what I know, it's what I can feel too. Now, knowledge certainly has something to do with it and how we carry ourselves and the things that we speak upon, and you know, is that for my people in particular, when we know that our genetic design and our DNA makeup, which comes from the Creator from the beginning of time, that black blood with the melanin, as I said before, and this is no bragging or being arrogant here or high minded, it's just a fact that what we have within, we are the only people that can truly bring heaven on earth like no other group can, or wait or raise hell. Because what we have been endowed with and gifted spiritually and physically. But I continue to be frustrated because it's like for all we've been through and for what I'm seeing today, certainly something's going on. Hence the word I used earlier, disproportionality. Now, here in America in particular, I still don't see, like I said, I don't see where we winning on the dark side, and I'm not saying that to justify what's being done out there or try to encourage the continual indulgences to try to bring about a Black Wall Street that's going to be hosting a perverted rainbow flag here and there. Nah, because we all got to clean our ways up and start doing this thing in a righteous manner and in a righteous way. We need to get back to knowing how to use discretion, which is going to be terribly hard. Keep things away from our youth and let them know. Enforce law, rules and regulations. Yo, don't deal with that no more. Watch them off around grown folks. This, what happened to the? We every time we get up on that topic, we always say, well, what happened to those times? And we need it back again and yada. Well, how long are we going to keep saying it before we start to enact on it? We're gonna wait for We're gonna wait for the government to dictate how we do that too. We're gonna wait for another movie or a sitcom to drop that's giving messages. So we gotta wait for that. Well, listen, if that's what it's gonna be, what's up? I don't see where we have our own towns, man. I don't see where we have our own communities effective and it's being productive. It's prospering. Hmm. And let's just say we get our neighborhoods now. We start seeing pretty, you know, nice cars and houses, apartment buildings for those coming up and yada yada yada. We start getting nice, you know, appliances and furnishings in the house now. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you know what was you know what's going to be focused on mainly how it was earned. It's so many things that can go into this, but how it was earned more so. Where does it come from? Who are the manufacturer of this and that? Trust me, because for all that we do put out here, from the music and all of that, even though I mean we're the hardest working class considerably, or the largest working class, and on the bottom level, because even on the bottom you can still have, and we work our way up. It's like, yo, you know what? Let me say this. Let me say this too. It's like, what if me, right? Let's say, okay, I'm from Brownsville, and I got some people who I stand at the foot at, or I sit at the foot at, some elders, and I'm saying to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna stick to my, I'm gonna stick to my attire that I wear, meaning I'm gonna go to thrift shops. Let's say, stick with me, hypothetically speaking here. If I had a job, I had a career, whatever, and I'm getting money, right? I'm earning funds, I'm doing my thing, but I'm not spending money crazy on my clothes and looking to get the fancy car and the biggest TV or the hottest new phone. Let's say I had that going on where I got good money coming in. I'm making, let's say, 700,000 a year, but y'all see me dressed the way that I'm dressed, and you see me walking around with a bag. What would you say, or what would you think? Now I'm saying this because we got to be ready to face the funk of making proper sacrifices and taking necessary risk. Because I thought about that. I said, what if I had it going on like that, and I'm giving money to my people, I'm giving money to my community, my people, those elders who I sit at the foot at. I'm working hard, and I'm like, you know what? Whatever I got, let me give to them, because I know that the elders know the road, because they've been here before us. And this is, like I said, this is all generational. And I know they're going to do what they do. Me being at the age of 40, I know that I got to continue to fortify myself, because I'm next in line for when those elders make their way out onto the ancestral realm. I'm on my way up. I'm next in line. I may be, more than likely, me and you is going to be the heir or the beneficiary of this, that, and the third that's coming from those that we're helping and supporting and funding. You follow me? I don't gotta be wearing the fanciest clothes, but we can have it going on, and we're giving. We're giving to the community. We're giving to the elders, and then the elders are having their, they sit downs, their gatherings, their peer reviews of what's going on with this family, with that family, with this individual, with that individual. College funding for this child, for that child. You follow me? When we start to do things like that and implement some new ways, oh, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. We shouldn't, and in doing so, we shouldn't be watching everybody like that, especially with some kind of envious eyes or jealous eyes, being all green. Nah. Because who we are and what we called for, having the highest calling, we can produce, like I just said, we the only ones that can truly bring heaven on earth like no other group can. Big shout outs to all the other ethnic groups out there that's doing them. But I can't look to go all up into their affairs and then try to nitpick and then want to, try to put things on blast. Like, hold on, wait a minute. I got my job to do. And especially in these times, ain't nobody perfect. But damn it, we trying to do the best with what we got. And we try to thrive to do better. It may not come tomorrow. It may not come in a week or a month from now. Even though some things do happen spontaneously. But I mean, come on. Because if we're gonna want things like that, then do away with the word patience. Because some things is just ordained and you can't mess with that. The creator said, look, I made the woman and she has to be pregnant for 9 months. Then that baby come out. You can't stop that. That's God's doing. Some things, people, I'm telling y'all, we just can't mess with. And I think that's what we're working to become more knowledgeable of. That's why you got those higher realms out there, the groups of people of all color that I believe do come together and they facilitate things for their people. That jealousy, envy, and fear are three emotional factors that's messing up a lot of things and is really causing a big hindrance in our growth. Trust me. It's so silly the things I see out here. But yeah, when we get back to making those kind of sacrifices, and I know that we've been through so much, especially my people in the hood, that every chance that when that chance come for them to get that fancy car, to get that nice clothes, get them nice clothes, and maybe that fancy apartment or this, and they're gonna jump for it and feel like they gotta do whatever they gotta do to get it because they like, yo, I've been in the gutter so long, yo, I need that, I gotta get that. It's start coming like a drug. Nah, man, you can get it, but how are you gonna get it? How did you earn it? Easy come, easy go. And there's a lot of things that's followed with the obtaining of what you have, meaning going into the spiritual aspect, there may be some things that's detrimental to your health. Listen, I think I'm gonna just stop it right there because now I'm feeling like I gotta go to the bathroom too because I had some green tea before that. But yes, you know, we got work to do, and like I said, I give it up to all those out there of all colors that's doing them, and they are men and women of integrity and righteousness, and for righteousness' sake, I give it up to them. That's, you know, for real. Because I don't understand how it's 2024 and I continue to see what I see out here. You know, never mind me and want to be like, well, yo, we need to stop this too. They'll be like, yo, but damn, look at him. His hair all crazy. He should have at least had it braided up. He shouldn't be where he at right now. Well, being that that could be the case and that's how you feel, well, what are you sharing? What are you lending? What are you giving? Before you talk down or you talk bad or you want to point out and nitpick or whatever. It's a reality check. Although the things that you say could be factual, maybe, hint, we gotta learn how to pick out these key words. Listen closely when people speak. See, I think, and that's another thing too. Every time I notice this, when I break bread with people, it seems like, especially men, it seems like there's a challenge for who knows more than who. I don't deal with that, man. Nah. We get so big headed, man, that is like a disease within itself. And that's actually immature. Indeed it is. We need to quit that, man. If you breaking bread, break bread, man. Don't be so quick to like wanna, respond. We can even have proper discourse out here or conversations. A lot of times when I'm talking to people, men or women, I could be ready to come through with a great point, some spreads, give a good piece of bread, meaning knowledge. And here they come stopping me, like they cutting me off because they jumping on and like, yeah. Come on, man. And the more that happens, it's like, you know what? I got to get away from this person because I don't like their mannerisms, respectfully. Can't really build with people like that. We need to learn to. That's why we got two ears, y'all. Y'all know how that go. Two ears, these here, plus that eye. We should be observing more, and then when we speak, we know how to speak. The things I be hearing out here, especially out these young kids' mouth, is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous, and this is disgusting. I don't even like to be around the hood no more. Seriously, you got a tough job, man. You got to build, man. And trust me, when you start to get cleaned up, you start to develop yourself. You're gonna see yourself, as I'm seeing, that you're gonna have to draw away from some people, even that of your own family. But that don't mean you hate them. Nah, this is spiritual. This is scientific. This is scientific. If I can put it to you real quick as I close here, when I say it's scientific, let's look in the form of cells. You got good cells, you got bad cells, right? What helps the cells in the body do what they do? The immune system. All right, so the creator made the body to heal itself. And so now the immune system pushes things out to say, hey, you go over there, it's like an army of things in the body, right? To go and aid and to help to rid diseases or cancerous cells or this and that. So when them good cells are getting cleaned up, you think they're gonna stick around them bad cells? Or whatever's in that bad cell that's becoming good and clean and rejuvenated? You think what's being put out of the body is supposed to stay? Nah. It got to go out, man. It got to get up out of here. By secretion, which comes by what? Detoxification. You're gonna piss it out. You can throw up. It can come out your pores through sweat. You can clean out your alimentary. It has to go. It can't stay. And that's that. Peace, love, and light, y'all. Thank y'all so much for your time, for tuning in. And go like I said, as I shared many times, spread the word, which is showing love. Spread the word, and then I pray that you and I, we get our things in order. We get ourselves in order. We continue to develop the mind. We study. Break bread with your brothers and sisters. Do so measurably. We don't have to entertain everyone or try to feel like we got to always, when I go around certain people and I say what I say, like I said, I could feel it too and I can sense it. I could pick it up. They look at me like, oh, this nigga think he know everything. Like, damn, man, wait a minute. Like, this is me learning. Like, I guess I gotta, that's a skill set too, when knowing how to talk with people, how to converse with them, to keep things at a level. That's a masterful skill. But I don't say what I say so I could try to sound all smart, so I can be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all gonna show me some love. I sound smart. I know these words. I got the juice. No. No. Because if that was the case, I'd have been going in. Especially with the woman and the sister to show brothers, like, yeah, I know this, yo, I got this sister over here, or this woman over. No. Humbleness and humility is going to help us get very far. And that should be golden. Because that's a quality that nobody could take from you. Peace, love, and light. Ashe. See y'all on the next one.